Hello and welcome. So I recently took a trip overseas to Japan and flew there and back in both of United Airlines premium cabins during the long haul leg of my flight. So today I'm going to bring you with me and I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to walk you through my experience. I'm going to tell you what the experience was like, compare the seats, the food, the service, the perks, and I'm going to tell you if it's worth the price. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe for more travel content like this one. On long-haul flights, specifically on the wide-body aircraft, United has 4 distinct seating categories. These aren't referring to the ticket class, but the physical seat. There's your standard economy and premium economy. The premium economy just basically gives you a little bit more legroom, and you're further forward on the plane, so meaning you have an edge when boarding and deplaning. There is Premium Economy Plus, which is just forward of the Premium Economy cabin, and this is just behind business class. And finally, United Polaris Business Class. So I flew United Premium Economy Plus on our way to Japan from a stopover in Chicago O'Hare, and I flew home in business class, coming home with a stopover in SFO, or San Francisco. So for the sake of full disclosure, I do want to mention that I did not purchase these seats initially when we booked the flight. They were just a little bit out of our price range, although it was a pretty long flight. So because I am a frequent flyer on United and have the 1K status, this allowed me to initially book a premium economy seat for no additional charge, and the flight was originally booked with mileage. So I was not eligible initially for free upgrade, and I didn't initially book these premium cabin seats right away. So what the airline does, or what United does, is that as the flight starts to get closer and the flight maybe doesn't start to fill up, especially in those premium cabins, they will occasionally lower the cost of those upgraded seats. So this allows these seats to get sold rather than providing them with a free upgrade to some of these passengers. Because this was an award ticket, we were not initially eligible, so we wanted to check on the price of just buying the seat itself. So we came back and checked frequently for the price by selecting the seat in the upgraded cabin. So we looked at both the Premium Economy Plus and the Polaris Business Class seats to determine how much an upgrade would cost. So this is not guaranteed, but it is definitely worth checking, as sometimes you might get lucky. And it really depends on the flight. So this is what happened when I checked and saw it for a discounted price, and I nabbed it. So I will show you how much I paid for each of these upgraded seats. First, let's head over to Chicago. From Chicago O'Hare to Haneda, Japan, this was around a 13-hour flight, so it was quite a long flight. For this, I paid $299 for the upgrade into a Premium Economy Plus seat. And this seat had an impressive amount of legroom. I did choose a bulkhead seat, so this may have provided a little more legroom, especially compared to the standard Premium Economy seat that I typically would fly. But also full control of my screen and the space in front of me. I didn't have to worry about that person in front of me pitching their seat back. The pitch of the seat, so the measure of the legroom between the seats of the United Premium Plus seat on this aircraft, was about 38 inches. And it's about 18.5 inches wide. So it gives you about 6 inches of recline. And this is a lot more than the Economy Plus cabin, which gives you about 34 inches of legroom and about 4 inches of recline. So it's enough of a difference to notice, and it's a bit more comfortable, but it does not go all the way back flat like it does in business class. However, the footstool was a great way to allow me to put my feet up a little bit, and it was a little bit more comfortable. Because this plane has a 2-3-2 configuration here, making it a little bit wider and more comfortable, so my husband and I had a whole row to ourselves pretty much. This seat comes with a 13-inch screen, which is pretty big, and it did come with a pretty decent selection of movies and TV channels, including one that included some ambient music to help with sleep, so that was kind of nice. This seat on the Dreamliner doesn't have the traditional window shade either, but windows that dimmed. Basically, you can turn the dim up and down, and this was kind of cool. It made it look like it was nighttime at all hours, which was nice, having that much control over how much light was coming in versus fighting with the window shade. The seat came with a pillow, a Saks Fifth Avenue blanket, and headphones. These were pretty standard airplane headphones, but they were much more comfortable than the earbuds that they typically give you. It also comes with an amenity kit, and this included earplugs, tissues, a really soft eye mask, a toiletry kit that included a moist towelette, chapstick, lotion, and it also included socks, a travel toothbrush, and toothpaste, and the bag was actually pretty nice as a travel bag as well. Shortly after takeoff, they did a drink and snack service with free beer and wine, which was an added perk. And about an hour and a half into the flight, they provided the first meal service. There was a choice here of chicken or vegetarian option. I opted for the chicken, which was basically roasted chicken thigh with green beans, roasted potatoes, a salad, bread, and a dessert, which was a cross between like a cake pop and a cookie. And that was actually really good. So this meal overall was just okay, but as far as airline food was concerned, I guess it was pretty good. It reminded me a lot of what you might get in a domestic first class flight. So unfortunately, my tray table was broken, but there was plenty of space in front of me, so this was an inconvenience having to eat off my lap, but there was still plenty of room. United did gift me some mileage for this inconvenience, so shout out to them there. The next meal service was a light snack about 2 hours before landing, and there was a choice of sandwiches of a turkey or vegetarian sandwich, and of course drinks and a choice of a standard snack. This meal was a little underwhelming. It was nice to have during a long flight, and probably a little bit more than you would have gotten in the economy class. Overall, the Premium Plus cabin was much more comfortable than a standard economy, and the amenities were a lot better. To me, it was absolutely worth the upgrade at this price, but I probably wouldn't pay full price for the seat when booking a flight. And I probably would have chosen a layover on the West Coast if I had the choice to opt for a shorter flight. So it's moving on to Polaris Business Class from Narita to SFO. So we acquired the seat the same way. And what we did is it was called a day of departure or DOD upgrade a couple of days before. And this would be a little more at $799 per person. So it probably goes without saying that business class is going to be far more luxurious, but I'll talk more about the experience and amenities. First, flying Polaris Business Class allows you admittance to the Polaris Lounge at the airport and lounges and also partner lounges. This video won't include an in-depth look at those lounges, but possibly in the future, so comment below if you'd like to see more of that. This flight was about 9 hours, so it was a great deal shorter than the first flight. First, this seat lays completely flat, so it is unparalleled when it comes to comfort. It feels like a nice private nook. And if you are in the middle seats, it does have a wall that goes up and down. So if you don't know the person next to you or you just don't want to interact during the flight, this is a really nice thing to have. The food service was really good as well, with a drink upon boarding, a hot towel, nuts as an appetizer, and a choice of beverage before your meal. There were several choices for your meal, which was an upgrade from the United Premium Plus. I chose the salmon, and my husband got the glazed short rib. So needless to say, for airline food, these were actually pretty good choices. And this was actually really good, especially for an airline meal. Choices of dessert, I opted for the sundae, of course, but they also had an option of, I think, like a fruit and cheese plate for that as well. The amenities here, they provided you with slippers and an amenity kit, which included much of the same items as the previous flight, but the bag was a lot nicer. It included a pen, earplugs, tissues, socks, an eye mask, a toothbrush kit, and another DOP kit with a moist towelette, lip balm, hand cream, hydrating mist, and eye cream. And these things were really nice to have. It also included the standard headphones, and the screen here was a little bit bigger, but same selection of movies. This one was absolutely worth the $800 price point. I might have paid more for the flight from Chicago, so the longer flight, but I was satisfied, and especially at that price point, it absolutely was worth it. In either case, I probably would not have bitten for much more, but really kind of on a sliding scale depending on how much that ticket was. But really, the clincher was the lay flat seat. So that was really, really neat. I hope you enjoyed taking this journey with me and this information. Please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content like this. And comment below if there's anything in particular you'd like to see. And I will see you next time.